With that being said, I have about a 45-minute class planned for us, and I have some music. Sorry, you can throw that aside. Thank you. So I'm going to go ahead and start the music, and let's get this show on the road. It's going to get darker, obviously, as we go through class. It's probably going to get, the water's going to come up. Hopefully, me and you are going to be watching that shoreline. This one right here will be looking for us. So hopefully you guys will still have good visibility, and I encourage everyone to please stick around after class for some distanced socialization, social distancing, however I say that. If you have drinks or snacks and you want to hang out, I would love to have you all stick around. So that's enough rambling from me. Let me go ahead and put this on Do Not Disturb. If you want to grab some photos by the fire, I'll be more than happy to take those for you. And a big thank you, by the way, to Ken for helping with the fire. I very much appreciate that. You should all be very glad that I was not the one in control of it. All right, guys, I'm just going to hover here for a sec to make sure all my volumes are right. If you would, go ahead and sit in a comfortably seated position. Did you bring the marshmallows? That can be legs crossed, easy seated position. You can come into half lotus. You can come into full lotus. Whatever feels good for you guys is what I want you to go for tonight, okay? Once you find yourself in a comfortably seated position, let's go ahead and start to slow down your breath and maybe close your eyes. I know that's a little scary with a giant fire in front of you. I promise you I'll keep my eyes open. But go ahead and close your eyes. Listen to the sound of the ocean, crackling of the fire, the feel of the breeze, the warmth of the sun. And maybe start to clear your mind from any stress that you've had today. As we practice in the sand, you may want to wiggle your seat around a little bit, making yourself even more comfortable. And then maybe take the hands to the knees, palms facing up. Feeling your chest expand with air, and then exhaling out any stress, any negativity. Slowly start to open your eyes if you had them closed. And we're going to take a nice big inhale. Let's bring our arms all the way up. Exhaling, taking both palms down into the sand. We're going to place the right hand, the right palm, or your left palm if you're doing opposite of me. And take the opposite arm overhead and reaching across. Taking your gaze up under the armpit. You have an option to maybe take the forearm down to the sand if you want to go a little bit deeper. Just make sure that your opposite hip is not lifting off the sand. If that's too deep, then just stay up on the palm. Perfectly fine. Continue to breathe. Exhale, coming back on up. Roll the shoulders down and back a couple times right here. Letting go of that tension. Placing the opposite hand down on the sand, we take the one hand up and over, reaching up, gaze under the armpit. Slowly coming back on up to center. Great job, guys. Inhale, arms come all the way up. This time as we exhale, we're going to take the left hand to the right knee and we twist open. You do not have to follow my left and right, so I'm not checking for that. Using that back arm to push yourself up, push your spine up a little bit taller so that you keep the chest nice and open. Back on up to center. Both arms come up, reaching for the sky, reaching really, really tall, and then twisting opposite hand to opposite knee. Inhaling, coming back to center. We're going to place the palms on the knees this time. So we're going to do a couple of seated cat and cow positions, a couple cat-cow stretches here. I want you to wrap those palms around your knees if that's comfortable for you, and then gently pull the chest open, dropping the shoulders back and lifting the head up towards the sky. Exhale, you're going to round the spine back, tucking the chin towards the chest, using those hands to let yourself fall a little bit deeper. Inhale, coming forward, chest comes open up. Exhale, round through the spine. One more time, we're going to inhale, open up. Really pushing those shoulders back and down to get a big chest opening, big heart opener here. And exhale, coming on back. Great job, guys. Come on back to center. We can uncross the legs, taking the legs out straight in front. Go ahead and get a little wiggle with those legs. As I mentioned, we're going to do a lot of wiggling tonight because we're in the soft sand. Since it's high tide, we aren't able to go down into the hard sand. So just be real cautious as we move from position to position of filling in any holes that we may dig. We want to be careful of the wrists and the ankles and the knees and the hips. So we will take our time. We'll have nice slow transitions from pose to pose tonight. Let's inhale, arms come all the way up right here, and then exhale, forward fold, reaching for those shins or the toes. Some of us may have been sitting at desks all day. This may be a little bit tight right now, so take your time, ease your body into it. You may want to have your knees bent here, and that's fine too. On your next inhale, we're going to slowly roll the spine up. Sitting up nice and tall. We're going to come to a kneeling position. Now, if kneeling is not comfortable for you, you may want to stay seated just a few more moments here, especially in the soft sand. So coming into a kneeling position here, we're going to inhale the arms all the way up. Exhale, the arms come to a cactus arms. We bend the elbows at 90 degrees. We open up that chest, bring those elbows slightly back behind you. Really focusing on opening up that heart. Exhale, taking the right hand down to the sand. The left arm comes up, the left leg comes out for gate pose. Take your gaze up past those fingertips. Slowly coming all the way back into center. Both knees come in. Have a seat right on the heels here. Take just a moment of rest. Ooh, that sun's starting to go down. I can start to see you guys. Inhale, arms come all the way up. Exhale, 90 degree at the elbows. Cactus arms here, pushing those shoulders back, pushing the elbows back slightly. Continuing to breathe here, make sure you never hold your breath. We want those breaths to be nice and deep as we stay into our pose. And then take one hand down towards the sand, the opposite arm comes up, leg comes out, pointing that toe. Try to keep your body in a nice straight line, and the gaze can come up past those fingertips. Great job. Come back on down to center. Have a moment to rest here on our heels. From here, we're going to take it up to a standing position. So make sure there's no holes where you're about to plant your feet. Yay, I can see. And we're gonna step our feet back, taking our fingers down towards the sand, and we're gonna actually come straight up into a forward fold. Okay, so just bending here, lifting the hips up, dropping down into a forward fold. Let yourself hang here for just a moment, letting gravity do its work. Let the chest just hang. Perfectly okay to have a slight bend in the knees, depending on how warmed up you are today. And then take a nice big inhale. We'll go to a halfway rise to a nice flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, arms come all the way up. Bringing the hands together at the top. Reaching for the sky. We want to roll the shoulders down and back. So we don't want our shoulders to be up here hunching. Be nice and relaxed. Pull them down behind you. And together we're going to lean over to the side. Remembering to continue with your breath here. Inhale back to center. Right, exhale, take it to a little mini back bend, a little micro back bend here. So we're reaching up now. If that's too much for anyone, please stay standing nice and tall. Back bending is completely optional here. If you want to take it back just a little bit, bringing the arms up over your head and behind you. Inhale back to center. My speaker is crackly like the fire, sorry. Inhale, take it over to the other side. Exhale, sorry. Hold here, pushing those feet down into the sand. We're grounding through all four corners of the feet. Go ahead and wiggle those toes, get that feel of the sand beneath you. Inhale, back on up to center. Great job, guys. Exhale, forward fold. Hands come all the way down. Inhale, halfway rise, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. And we're going to hang here in ragdoll. Grab opposite elbows with opposite hands and let yourself just hang a little bit deeper here. Maybe take a little sway from side to side if that's not too much for you in the sand. Loosening up through the spine. And then we're going to slowly roll the spine all the way up. We are going to step one foot out, coming into goddess pose. So as we come into goddess pose, your toes are going to come out at an angle, right? So that angle depends on you. They don't need to be completely sideways. I do want you to make sure that your legs are far enough apart that your knees are not going to go past your toes, okay? So the knees will track no further than the toes. From here, get those feet planted, good. Inhale, arms come up. We're in star here. We're gonna exhale, bending at the knees, taking the elbows down with us. Opening up through the chest and pushing down, aiming to get those legs parallel. Aiming, right? That's the goal. Maybe not the end. That's what we're trying for. Hold here. Exhale, taking the arms straight out at the sides. We're going to inhale, come all the way up, straighten the legs, bringing the arms up with us. Ooh, that feels good. Exhale, take it back on down, nice and slow. Pushing those heels into the sand, keeping that chest open. We'll do that one more time. Inhale, straighten up. You guys look amazing. Exhale, take it back on down. Hold here for one more breath. Exhale, take the hands to the knees. We're going to straighten up through the legs, and the toes are going to come forward. So you were waiting for that. I saw that smile. From here, guys, you want to make sure that the toes are facing forward. We're going to lean on over to one side. So we're pushing the hips straight back, and you can either bring the hands all the way down to the sand, or you can also keep them up on your thigh if that feels better for you. Okay, so only go as low as feels good. Any knee issues here, just stay up here. It's perfectly fine, or you can even stay in full standing. Don't forget to breathe. From here, guys, we're going to turn our bodies, taking one hand on either side of our front leg. Turn both heels. We're coming into a runner's lunge. Good. Again, making sure that that knee is not going past the toes. So you want to step that front foot out just a little bit further. There you go. You have the option to drop that back knee if you want to modify. We'll get there in just a moment. Or you can stay in runner's lunge for another moment or so. Before we drop into crescent, we have an option here to take it up a notch. Now, if you don't want to take it up a notch, stay exactly where you are. If you would like to take it up a notch, we're going to plant those fingertips into the sand, pushing that front foot into the sand, lifting the back leg, coming up for standing split. Very, very slowly, we're going to lower the back leg back down into the sand. We take the toes down first, then we take the knee down. Release the toes so that the top of the foot is resting on the sand. And we come into crescent lunge, arms come up. Exhale, bring the arms behind the back. Opening up through that chest, big heart opener again. Are you sensing a theme tonight? Heart opening. Keeping in mind that the full moon is the perfect time to start letting go of things that are no longer serving you. If your last few weeks have been whirlwind and crazy and busy, or maybe things have felt negative, now is the time to let all of that go, including your hands. Let those go as well. Bring them down by your toes in front of you. We're going to tuck the back toe, and we're going to straighten the legs. Now you're going to have to adjust slightly here. We want the back leg, the back toe facing slightly forward. The front toe is straight ahead. Okay. From here, we're going to lower down, so take a big inhale. Exhale, forward fold over that front leg, coming into pyramid pose. Hold here for 2 more breaths. From here, we're going to slowly take it all the way on up. So using that core, pull that belly button in, lifting the arms all the way up with us. We're going to open up and coming into triangle pose. So the feet stay in the exact same position. Arms are going to stay up, and we shift the torso over the front leg slightly. Good. Hold here. As you exhale, maybe rotate the arms and stack the shoulders. One arm comes down, the other arm comes up. Taking it all the way back up, back arm comes back, front arm comes up overhead. Inhale, coming on back to center. Both toes come forward this time, slightly out at an angle. We're going to take it down into a malasana stretch. So we can dip right down here. Adjust those feet as needed. You may need to step them a little bit closer. Everybody's different here in their hip openers. Get as low as you can, but if you cannot get all the way down, then please feel free to stay up here. You can lift the heels if you need to. Take a moment here. We're going to take the hands down in front, turning those toes back to facing straight forward, lift the hips up, we come into wide leg forward fold. Slowly roll it on up. And we are going to come on over to the other side now. So remembering that we can stay up here, we can bring the hands down, but you want to push the hips back and both toes are facing forward. Take your time getting into these transitions. You can always have the arms on the thigh. Good. From here, we're going to plant the hands, right? We're going to turn both heels. So we come into that runner's lunge, making sure we lift the heels as we turn, and then we sink down into runner's lunge, and our front knee is not going to go past that toe, okay? You can drop that knee as a modification if that feels better for you. Drop that knee, that's perfectly fine, or stay up here. And if you want to take it up a notch, we're going to plant that front foot. We're really going to push that front foot into the sand, lifting the back leg for standing split. Slowly lowering that leg back down into the sand, keeping a nice little angle in that back foot. Front foot stays straight. Straighten the leg. We're going to inhale, exhale, forward fold for pyramid pose. So we're just bending over that front leg. Big hamstring stretch here. We're going to use that core, pull that belly button in, and lift all the way up, bringing our arms with us. We're going to open up the chest. Our feet stay in the same position. Shoulders roll down and back. We shift the torso over to that front leg, keeping the legs straight. We're in triangle pose. We come on down. All the way back on up, bringing the back arm back and the front arm, reverse triangle. Great job, guys. From here, we're going to cartwheel the hands down on either side of the front foot, and we're going to step that front foot back to meet mine's right foot, coming into down dog. So step those feet back. Here we really want to dig the palms into the sand to make sure that our wrists are protected. And take your time here. You may want to pedal the legs out a little bit. Warming up those legs. Pushing the heels down towards the sand. Your gaze is between the back legs. Your shoulders are rolled down and back. Take a few breaths here. From here, we're going to inhale, shift the torso forward, coming into a high plank so the shoulders become stacked right over those wrists. If this is too much on your wrist in the soft sand, go ahead and take it to forearm instead. That might feel better for you. Otherwise, we're going to hold here, pull that belly in nice and tight. One breath here. Exhale, lower down, coming into low plank, chaturanga, all the way through for cobra. Releasing the feet, the toes, so that the tops of the feet rest in the sand. Nice job, guys. You can bend in the elbows here and keep it at cobra. Or you have the option to straighten the arms. If you want to take it up a little bit to up dog, we're going to lift the thighs off the sand, straighten the arms, just the tops of the feet and the palms on the sand. Inhale, push the hips back, knees come wide, child's pose. Go ahead and take your forehead down to the sand if that feels okay. Relaxing through the shoulders. Inhale, we're going to lift slightly, taking the left arm underneath the right to thread the needle. We drop back down. Inhale back to center, taking the right arm underneath the left. Inhale, coming back to center, and then walking those hands slowly back up. Whew. Take a little breath. Now would be a great time for a quick little water break if you like. A jump in the ocean water break, whatever you feel is needed. It's cooling down a little bit. The sun's not beating down quite so much. How's everybody feeling? We good? I see smiles. Okay, good. Cheer, applause already. All right, good. You're just clapping for child's pose, aren't you? That's all right. We'll do more of that. All right, guys, we're going to take it to a seated position and do some seated stretches. Let's start by taking our legs nice and wide straddle. And we're going to walk the hands right out in front. So don't worry about getting your hands in the sand. You're going to be sandy anyway, so go ahead and walk those hands forward. If it's comfortable for you to take the arms down, then by all means go for it. If you want to be back up here, that's okay too. Don't worry about how far apart your legs are or are not. That is a non-issue. Slowly coming back on up. We're going to take the one arm overhead, reaching for the side just like we did in the very beginning. Maybe we can get a little bit deeper now that we've moved around a bit. You have the option, if you want to take it a bit deeper, take the bottom arm and tuck it right underneath that leg, and you may be able to take it over the side a little bit deeper. Inhale, come back on up to center. Great job. Taking it to the other side. Inhale, back on up. We're going to bring the legs together in front. Maybe wiggling around in that sand, any lumps and bumps we may have dug with our last down dog. From here, we're going to take the right foot and plant it on the opposite side, the outside of the left leg. When we do this pose, we want to still sit up nice and tall, right? So naturally, we tend to want to kind of, like we're watching TV all of a sudden, sit up nice and tall, pull that belly in, engage that core. We're going to lift the left arm up and take the left elbow to the outside of the right knee, using that back arm to push yourself up a little bit taller. Coming back to center, we're going to release that foot, grab the bottom of the foot with both hands, and we're going to push it on out as far as feels comfortable. So if your knee is bent here, please don't worry about it. That's perfectly fine. If you can take it to straight, then go for it. If straight feels okay for you, then maybe take the hands to the calf and bring the leg up a little bit deeper, a little bit further. Again, make sure you're sitting up nice and tall and not rolling back. I can really get my leg up high if I do that, right? Hold here, one more breath. Exhale, releasing that leg down. We're going to take it to the other side. So the left foot comes to the outside of the right leg. Sitting up tall. Inhale, arm comes up. And we twist right elbow outside of the left knee. Coming on back to center, we're going to lift that left leg, taking the bottom of the foot and stretching it out straight in front, maybe straight, partially straight, as far as you can in front, sitting up tall. And if that feels okay, wrap those hands around the calf and point the toe, bring the leg up even a little bit further. slowly lower that leg on down. We do a small little challenge. We're ready for a small challenge. We're on the beach. We gotta do boat pose. So dig your seat in a little bit further into the sand. Good. It makes it easier, I promise. We're gonna lean slightly back. Lifting the legs at 90 degrees. We come into a nice little bent knee position. Arms come out right by your sides. If this feels okay, then you can stay right here. If you want to take it up a notch, you maybe want to try straightening the legs. Hold here. Don't forget to breathe. I can see you all holding your breath. Exhale, bend at the knees again. And all the way down, lower down. Nice job. Good. You guys did great on that one. So from here, we're going to take it to a laying down position to deepen some stretches through our legs and our spine. So find a nice, comfortably laying down position. It is not Shavasana yet. Don't get too excited. Come on down. And from here, we're just going to go ahead and bend the right knee in towards the chest. So pull that knee in. At the same time, you want to push the left foot, the left leg down into the sand. Keeping that right knee bent, we're going to take that knee over to the left side. The right arm comes out to the right. Inhale, coming back to center. From here, we're going to straighten that right leg, pull that up right towards the head again. One more hamstring stretch here. And from here, we're going to take the peace fingers of the right hand, wrap it around the big toe of the right foot. Taking the left arm out to the side and letting the right foot fall down to the right side. You may be up here, and that's fine. You don't want to push yourself here. Just let that leg fall until you feel that stretch, not pushing to go too far. Inhale, back to center. And we're going to slowly lower the right leg all the way down to the ground. Now we're going to hug the left knee into the chest. Hold here for just a few breaths. Keeping that knee bent, we're going to take it over to the right side. So the left knee comes over, left arm comes out to the left. Perfect. Slowly coming on back to center, bringing that leg with you. And we're going to straighten that left leg, pulling it up for a big hamstring stretch. Let's take those peace fingers of the left hand, wrap it around the left toe. And then we straighten the left leg coming down to the left side. The right arm comes out to the right. You want to push into the sand with that right hip and the right hand for balance. Inhale, coming back on up to center. Hugging both knees into the chest. Now wrap those arms around the shins. Take a moment here to rock side to side, loosening up through the spine. And then exhale, releasing the legs down and the arms up overhead. Take a nice full body stretch. Reaching the toes as far away from the fingertips as you can. next breath, we're going to roll on over it or take it over to our tummy. So we roll onto our belly. Again, you may want to dig around in the sand a little bit. Make sure that you don't have any lumps and bumps pushing in the wrong places. No shells sticking into your stomach or anything like that. From here, we're going to lower the chest down. I want you guys to have your forehead facing down towards the sand so you have a nice neutral spine, and the arms are going to lift straight out in front. So depending on the strength of your core or the flexibility of your back, if it hurts here at all to lift, then please don't. It's really a hard move on the sand. So you may just have the arms hovering, or you can take it up even just an inch. Totally up to you. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower down. This time we're going to lift just the toes. So we inhale, lifting the toes off, keeping the arms and the chest down on the ground. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. This time we're going to inhale, lift all fours. So both arms, both legs, come on up. Using that core, pull that belly in to make sure that you're using those muscles. Don't forget to breathe. Don't hold your breath here. And lower down. Again, inhale everything up. Exhale everything down. Great job. From here, we're going to take it to all fours. So plant those palms right by your shoulders and push yourself on up. Lifting up the hips. So our hips are going to be stacked right over our knees, and our shoulders are going to be stacked over our wrists. You want to pull the belly in so you've got a nice, flat, neutral spine. We don't want to be dunking our belly down here. We don't want to be rounding through the back. So I want you to pull that belly in and keep it nice and straight here. Again, your gaze should be down between your hands. I know you're tempted to look at the fire, but I want to make sure your spine is in a neutral position, okay? So from here, we're going to extend the right arm and the left leg. Opposite arm, opposite leg. Exhale, we're going to take the elbow to meet the knee underneath. We round through the back, tuck the chin towards the chest. Inhale, extend. Exhale, underneath. Inhale, extend. We are going to stay here for just a moment, so you can keep your position here, reaching that opposite arm and opposite leg, or you have the option to reach that arm back, reaching for the top of the foot, and then pushing the top of the foot into the hand. On your exhale, slowly release. Don't kick that leg's bit down too fast. And then come on back to all fours. Great job. From here, we're going to switch to the opposite side. So left arm, right leg extends on out. Exhale, we come underneath, elbow to knee. Inhale, reach long. Exhale, underneath. Inhale, reach long. We're going to stay here for just a moment. Finding your balance. It's hard in the sand, I know, guys. You have the option to stay right here or sweep that arm up and over, reaching for the foot, pushing that foot into the hand. Slowly exhale, lowering back on down, coming into all fours. While we're here, we'll do a cat-cow stretch. So from here, we're going to now drop the belly down. Go ahead and arch that back. The gaze comes up slightly. Exhale, we round the back, tuck the chin to the chest. Inhale down. Exhale, round it out. One more time. Ponytail's covering my face, can't see. Exhale, round your back. And from here, guys, we're going to come back to a neutral spine. Take the knees nice and wide. Push the hips back, coming into child's pose. Hold here for just a few more breaths. Let's go ahead and activate those toes. Tuck the toes, push those palms down into the sand, lift the hips, coming into down dog. Again, you can come down to forearm if this is too much on the wrists. Inhale, right toes rise. Exhale, drop the right foot over to the left so we open up through the hip. Inhale, back to center. We're going to lower the leg, shift it forward, coming into a high plank, lower down chaturanga all the way through to cobra. Or up dog. Either one. Inhale, tuck those toes, push the hips up, down dog. Inhale, left toes rise. Exhale, open up the hip, drop the left foot over to the right. Inhale, back to center. Lowering that leg down, shift it forward, high plank, chaturanga, cobra. If this is too much on the wrists, you can always take the forearms down and come into Sphinx pose instead. That might be more comfortable for you. Hold here. And then releasing, lower all the way down, taking the head down towards the sand. Slowly rolling over onto your back. Take your time to get there. Wiggle around to make sure it's comfy. Let's inhale. Stretch those arms over the head. Stretch those toes long. Exhale, lower those hands down by your sides. Palms facing up. Let the feet fall out to the sides. Big inhale. Start to slow your breath. Close your eyes. Feel yourself melt into the sand. Listen to the sound of the ocean. As we wind down in our practice, take a few moments to appreciate what our bodies have just done for us. And letting ourselves just relax from the tip of our toes to the top of our head.
When you looked in the water and saw your reflection, the embers.
I do have some lavender, or not lavender, I have some mixed essential oils. I will be coming around to place them on your wrists. You please feel welcome to rub them anywhere on your body that you may need a little extra love. They're perfectly safe. If you prefer no essential oils, please place one hand on your heart so I know to pass over you.
My love is just a reminder. a reminder, find your center. Well, help me recall that first morning, sunlight at dawn, and cracks on the floor, well it served as a warning. Everything's changing, all rearranging, so familiar, so amazing. Hopped in the car, drove to the mountains, cows in the street, prairie to the counting. There was the river, eternal giver, flowing forever. Remember, find your sense. My love is just a reminder, find your scent. My love is just a reminder. My love is just a reminder, find your scent. My love is just a reminder. When you've lost your way, colors start to fade. Take a look within, find your offering. Hold it to the sun, let your spirit run. Remember, remember, find your center. My love is just a reminder, find your center. My love is just a reminder. My love is just a reminder, find your center. My love is just a reminder. My love is just a reminder, find your center. My love is just a reminder. My love is just a reminder, find your center. My love is just a reminder.
Slowly start to wiggle your fingers and toes, coming back to a normal breath. Opening up your eyes. And if you are ready to wind down for your night, I suggest rolling on over to your left side for a little bit more calming and relaxation. Take a few breaths on your left side. And when you feel ready, come on up to a comfortably seated position. And as you open your eyes, you may notice that the full moon has decided to make its appearance. Take a few breaths here, guys, seated comfortably. Inhale, arms come all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart. Bring those thumbs touch to your chest. Normally I ask you to close your eyes. Instead, I'm going to ask you to gaze out over the ocean, staring at that moon, feeling the energy come from it, feeling the calmness, and remembering to let go of anything that is no longer serving you. Hoping that you keep this calm, peaceful practice with you through the rest of your week. I cannot thank you guys enough for coming tonight and trusting to lead me in your practice. This has been so beautiful for me. So thank you. Namaste. I'm crying.